Listen, it's no secret I'm not the biggest fan of all-inclusives. They are growing on me. I've just done 14 in the past few months here in Punta Cana alone, and I'm definitely seeing why people like them. The best all-inclusives are still to come on this channel. Believe me, we are just getting started. This is my first time in Punta Cana. We got Sanctuary right next door. That place looks phenomenal. But I stayed away from all-inclusives for the longest time because there are problems with all-inclusives, and I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth years ago, and that's why I hadn't been back in like a decade, maybe longer. But I'm back. I did 14 over the past few months, and I'm reminded why I hate them. So I've talked a lot about the positives of all-inclusives in my previous videos. I've talked a lot about these great all-inclusives specifically. You know, you have Excellence, Royalton Chic, Rue Republica. I really have found some gems, but today I'm gonna give the contrarian thought. I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm going to channel the old me. I'm gonna talk about, 8 reasons I hate all-inclusives, or 8 reasons why you should never book an all-inclusive. Why, I'm not sure what the title's gonna be, but basically it's 8 reasons why an all-inclusive is a terrible idea. Number 1, they are huge. I know that, like the Venetian in Las Vegas is considered the 2nd largest hotel in the world. I think that's based off rooms. Because I'll tell you what, the Hard Rock here in Punta Cana dwarfs that property. These things are so sprawling, you can't even walk them. The Hard Rock, for example, if you want to walk from your room to the lobby, or from the beach to the lobby, that's like a 20-minute walk. They have like 9 or 10 pools. Some of these have like 10 restaurants. They're just crazy large. It's almost too much. It's almost sensory overload. And if you prefer your boutique hotel experience where it's a quick trip from the lobby to your hotel room, or a quick trip from your hotel room to the pool, you're not gonna find that at these all-inclusive. So number 1, they are huge. Number 2, because of that, they are overpopulated. There are just so many people on site. Like, Hard Rock had like 9 pools, 10 pools, I forget what it was, and every single one of them was packed. You would have had to get there so early in the morning just to get a good seat. Some of my favorite memories at hotels is, when I wake up in the morning in Miami, for example, I'm the only one at the pool. Or sometimes when I sit down at the lobby bar and I'm the only one there. I'm not saying that's what I want all the time, but it's just a nice change of pace, and it's a nice present when sometimes you have some exclusivity and some exclusion at a hotel, and that is not happening here. I mean, sometimes you're lucky if you can find a spot at the pool. You're lucky if you can find a spot at the beach. Sometimes you're lucky if you can even get a reservation at a restaurant. So not only are they huge, they are majorly overpopulated. Number 3, they are predictable. They are so predictable. I've just done 14 of them, and I can tell you that water aerobics start at noon. I can tell you that the entertainment show starts at 9 or 9:30. I can tell you there's going to be a steakhouse on each property. There's going to be an Italian place. There's probably going to be an Asian place. There's absolutely going to be a buffet. As you enter the property, they're going to say welcome home, and as you leave, checkout is pretty much always at noon. They are just so predictable, and that is the 3rd reason why I cannot stand all-inclusives. Number 4, they are cookie cutter. What is cookie cutter? Cookie cutter, I guess, is basic. Cookie cutter is generic. Now, I understand all-inclusives have to be cookie cutter because they have to appeal to a wide market. They have to appeal to some of them families, children. They have to appeal to couples, groups of couples, singles, old people, young people, and everybody in between. And because everyone has to fit inside that box, they really don't take a lot of chances, like I said, and they really don't have a lot of personality or a lot of edge. A lot of the restaurants are just one big square room with tables and chairs in them. It's just like everything from the entertainment to the restaurants to the decor to the personality. Everything is just very predictable and very safe, very generic. So that is the 4th reason that I do not like all-inclusives. They are extremely cookie cutter. Number 5 is they lack culture. They take away from the culture of the trip. And what do I mean by that? You might say, James, well, they do the Dominican entertainment show, or we're able to get some culture. And yeah, you're maybe able to get a little bit, but because you're staying on campus the entire time, you really aren't exposed to the culture of the city, of the living and breathing city that's outside the walls and confines of the all-inclusive. Maybe you want to go to a market and barter. Maybe you want to go to a restaurant downtown. Maybe you want to just take in some of the sights of the city. And of course you can do this, not in Punta Cana really, because there's not a lot of that. But in Cancun, of course you can do that, but you're really incentivized not to because you've already prepaid. If you've already paid $700 a day, it really doesn't make financial sense to spend an extra $200 or $300 to go do activities when you can get them for free or no extra charge at the resort you've already paid for. So because you're incentivized to really stay at the hotel the entire time, and because you're not leaving it and checking out other parts of the city or country, that is why I think there is a huge lack of culture when you stay at these all-inclusives. Okay, number 6, this is a big one for me. They get boring. They get so boring. Now, this is a problem, I think, if you're staying for more than 4 or 5 days. And typically by 4 or 5 days, I'm out to the next hotel for this exact reason, because they do get boring. But yeah, if you're staying here for a week, or I meet so many people that stay here for 2 weeks, I'm just like, how? What type of specimen are you where you're able to stay at these all-inclusives for 2 weeks? Because for me, after 4 or 5 days, I've done the pools once, if not twice. I've done the restaurants once or not twice. I've done all the lounges and bars. I probably have seen the show, and I pretty much have run through the entire property. Now I'm gonna rinse and repeat for a second or third time. I'm gonna do that 3 times within 2 weeks. Not happening. So after I've done all the restaurants and all the bars and all the pools and the beach once, if not twice, that's time for me to leave. And that typically takes 4 to 5 days. So yeah, people who stay here for a week or 2, to me, that's just insane. And if that ever happened to me, it would just get so boring. So that's the 6th reason why I don't like all-inclusives. They get old in a hurry. Okay, number 7, the drinks. And you're probably expecting me to say that they are watered down and they don't taste right and they're fake. And I haven't had any experience with that. To me, they taste just fine. They definitely get me where I need to go. And I find the drinks actually quite adequate. No problems there with me. The problem for me is really the selection of alcohols. I like my Cirocs, I like my Stoli Elites. If you like your high-end bourbons, whiskeys, tequilas like your 1942s or your Patrons, you're gonna have a hard time finding them here. Now, you can find them at places like Secrets and Dreams at the Preferred Club. Those places definitely have a great liquor selection. But overall, even at nice places like Azul Beach or even Excellence, which I was just at, they really didn't have like a huge array of top shelf liquors. So that could be a little disconcerting, especially if you have like very refined or particular taste for certain types of alcohol. And number 2, this is a double whammy. They really don't have like good bartenders here, and don't take that the wrong way. I mean, if you want your pina coladas or your Cuba Libres or your Bloody Marys or your Roman Cokes, stuff like that, you're gonna be fine. But even for me, I can only have so many pina coladas. I can have only so many chocolate mudslides, dirty monkeys, blue Hawaiians, banana mamas. It goes on and on and on. And after like a week or 2 of those, like even I'm looking for something else. So where am I going with this? If you're looking for like a properly mixed martini or like a properly mixed old fashioned, one that's classically made by a bartender who's trained, it's rare. It's rare. Like I think I might have had 1 or 2 since I've been here, and this is my 14th all-inclusive hotel. So if you like your proper mixed drinks and if you like your high-end liquors, you're gonna have problems finding those definitely at these all-inclusives. Okay, the last one, and you knew this one was coming. You knew I'd save this one for the end. Food. The food is pretty terrible, generally speaking. Now there are some outliers. You are gonna find some stars in the sky. Like Excellence has phenomenal food pretty much across the entire property. And if you go to some properties like at Majestic Mirage, they got pretty good restaurants. And I even found like a few gems at the Royalton Chic property. But overall, the food is generally speaking categorically really bad. And the reason that is that you've already prepaid your money for the all-inclusive. There is no reason to really give you any exceptional quality. What they try to do is just give you food that is good enough to get by. Just good enough so you just don't complain, but it's really average at best. So if you are someone who is a foodie, or if you are someone who has like some gastronomy experience and you have really high expectations, first of all, lower your expectations dramatically because you're staying at an all-inclusive. Secondly, you probably can find some good food here, but you're gonna have to pay it. At resorts like Excellence and high-end places, they really do up their food quality. But for the places like a Hard Rock or a Rue Republica, a TRS Turquesa, and really, hotels that actually have good ratings, the food really leaves a lot to be desired. So that is my last reason why I cannot stand all-inclusives, why an all-inclusive can ruin your vacation. I'm not necessarily sure how I'm going to title the video yet. I'll have to think about it, but you get my point. I like all-inclusives. They are growing on me. I like them exponentially more than I did just a few months ago. But after coming to 14 in a row here in Punta Cana, I must say that I am reminded as to why I originally didn't like them.